Hello friends, today we are going to discuss the important questions related to DBMS system, that is database management system. So before going to depth, I would like to bring your attention to this topic that once the interview starts, then the it will start with the Java, and the next important topic that you are going to overcome is the database technologies. So some of the important questions. I would suggest that you do hundreds of things, but before going to hundreds of things, please do follow this 16 questions. If you are comfortable and if you have done all the 16 questions, then I would suggest that you go ahead with whatever you want. So, questions. So, let's get started. Basically, the questions will be related to normalization, relationships, joins, and the character, where cat, text, law, level locking, row locking, and all such things. So, let's go for the first question. So it would be like, what is the normalization? What is its need? Explain 1F, 2NF, 3NF, and BCNF in detail. So if you have done your project very well, so at a certain stage you would realize that the tables are getting bulky. So somewhere or the other way you need to segregate the columns into certain related columns into one table and some related columns into another table. So on what criteria, on the what basis you distribute those tables or those column, that is all related to the normalization. Sometimes we need to store the calculated table as well, so that part is also is considered. So you should be ready with the answers. I'll be going in depth in some other video, so please bear. Explain entity relationship diagram and explain all types of relationships with example. This basic idea would be enough, I think. The next question would be like this: which are the different types of joins in this equal? Give examples. So you should be aware of cross join, left join, right join, outer join. You should know the difference between left join, right join, and you should also know the example when we consider the right outer join, then which table is considered fully and which table is connected only for the join IDs. Next question would be like, what is the stored procedure? What are the advantages of stored procedure? First thing that you should keep in mind that stored procedures are the read write process, which considers under the read write process, and if you have a read access only of the database, or to perform the stored procedures you need an read write access of the database. How stored function is different from stored procedure, so you should know the basic difference between procedure and stored functions in all the respects. So next question would like this: what is the difference between char, where char, text? Moreover, you can go ahead with the blob, then storing the binary digits and like that stuff. Does data type matter while creating the index? Next question would like, explain acid properties of the transaction. What is the use of transaction? What is the table level locking, row level locking? What is the optimistic locking and pessimistic locking? So actually what happens is that at a time hundreds of API calls are fired on the database. Hundreds of API calls are fired on the server, and server in turn call the service layer and in turn calls the database layer, 100 at a time. So at that time, if four calls are calling same table, if four calls are calling the same table, same row, same calling, then there is the requirement of the locking of that row. Otherwise, data inconsistency will not happen. Data consistency will not happen. So next would be write a query to find third highest salary of the employee. This is very popular question. So you should be ready using subqueries and without using subqueries. Both the direction you should know. Then write a query to print name of the employee and his manager. Also print manager's manager. This is the self join. when you go into the database, then sometimes what happens is that you are linking the same table twice. Means as you know, manager is also employee and employee is also employee. So both are in the same table, so both have employee ID. And in the table there is a manager ID. So manager ID. So indirectly manager ID is the employee ID. So self relation is relationship is there. So we should have a basic idea regarding that. What is the use of views? A highly used concept. Views. How to limit DML operations to views to the given criteria. Next question would like what is the normalization? Explains that is done. I have covered it. It was the first question. Then coming to the NoSQL database, that is MongoDB. Then MongoDB is the most popular database. At least you should know the advantages and disadvantages of that NoSQL. Next question will be explain base transaction in CAP theorem. Explain type of NoSQL databases where they can be used. Next question is like write queries to perform CRUD operation on Mongo database. At least basic level you should be clear and thorough about that. So thank you guys, all the best. Hopefully your interviews would be great. As you know, as I know, it would be starting around 12th. 12th coupa is coming to the cdac Pune.